Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Today is a peculiar video in as far as much as I am not taking out a specific tank, instead I'm taking out my German 7.7 lineup. And in this game I'm not using jets because I am trying to conserve my Silver Lions at the moment to try and build a respectable amount up. So to start with, I am playing out my Leopard 1. This is the 7.7 medium tank in the German tank tech tree. It uses the 105mm L7A3 cannon, which is the same as can be found on the Centurion Mark 10 or any other of the 7.7 main battle tanks. Unfortunately, the Leopard 1 does not get a stabiliser like the STB1 or the M60A1, although the M60A1 is 8.0, so ignore that. In the battle at the moment, I am pushing up to the middle of the B and C points with the intent of shooting into the flanks of enemies who are capping the C point, because what most people do is sit in between the pillars which hold a bridge up, and you can easily get shots into their side normally. However, unfortunately that doesn't happen in this game, but instead I find a nice little surprise around the corner and get a rather lucky shot into this M18 Hellcat, which I see just now. So I managed to use the hull break feature, which may or may not have saved my life in that situation, and he implodes. The round I'm firing is a Heat FS round with 400mm of penetration at any range. Personally, this is my round of choice. Unless I am on big open maps, then I will use the APDS discarding Sabo round because of the higher muzzle velocity it gets. It is important to note when using this tank that the APDS is absolute shite, so don't expect to get many kills with it. And of course, Hesh is useless, and the Heat FS has been nerfed as well, so the gun isn't great on this tank, although it does get the job done. So now I've pushed up because I saw there were no enemies which I could see in the C point, and I get shot in the side by a chieftain. Luckily, he only takes out my command and engine, so I managed to get a nice return crit into his turret, taking out the commander, gunner, and cannon breach. So I thought he would be sufficiently out of a fight for me to neutral reverse back down the hill whilst popping smoke. So I tried to turn around the corner, but I don't have enough momentum. So unfortunately I just have to repair here. At this point in the battle, I thought things were going quite well, because I thought my team were right behind me because I hadn't really looked at the mini-map. And here's me making myself look rather silly, I meant to say, because I opened a big map and I was relying on my team's support, and at this point I sort of realised it was a bit hopeless and I start getting shot from each and every angle. I think there's one behind me, one in front of me, one to my left and one to my right. So I see the chieftain pushing up to my right side and get a shot into his under armour, or his lower glacis, which cripples him, takes out his driver and loader. So then the Centurion Mark 10 takes me out and I respawn in my Dornier 335B2, which is a premium strike fighter or ground pounder. It comes armed with three 30mm Mark 103 cannons, which are either really good or either really bad. It depends how it goes really, but I personally can't recommend getting this plane. The stat card is absolute bullshit about it, because this thing turns worse than a jet, and that is awful. But I suppose it's alright in tank RB as long as you pull up with at least 0.4 kilometers, at least 400 meters to pull up, because you have the smallest elevator in game, I'm pretty sure. So you really can't pull up. You see me here, I barely managed to pull up, and my tail fin just escapes getting grated on the floor. So here I take some shots at this P47, not sure why they didn't really hit. Bit disappointing, but what can you expect? And here again you can see how awfully this thing turns. In tank RB you can expect to get some kills, but most of the time you'll just get crits into people. On every pass you get crits, you crit people, but you don't really tend to kill them that often. Unless you get a really good approach, then that would happen anyway. So here I start getting absolutely roasted by P47, and I've got no chance at this point. I can't outturn him, can't outclimb him, can't outspeed him, so he's just won, really. He takes out my engine, sets me on fire, and pissed me off, really. The 50 cals which the P47s use always seem to set fires, but whenever I use them, it just magic sparks off them. But I suppose that's just how it goes. So now I'm spawning back in my MKPZ M47, which is a tier 5 premium, which I was very happy to purchase from Gaijin. And I know what you're saying at the moment to yourselves, why has this geezer got so many premiums in his lineup? It's because I am grinding. These are really the only premiums which I use. I don't have that many others, but I'm just grinding out my German tree at the moment. I'm trying to get to the Maus so I can make a good video on that. The MKPZ M47 is an absolutely fantastic tank. I cannot recommend it enough. It's basically the same thing as the regular M47, except it comes with smoke grenades, and it comes completely spaded, and you get to fight against the Americans, which it's actually ironically better suited to do than to fight against the Germans or Russians. So here I've seen that a Vickers has killed someone, and I misjudged where the bridge ends, and I face plant into the wall. So here I see some gorgeous bombs dropped by our friendly P47, and he explodes in a fireball of majestic carnage. So now I'm pushing up into the A point to try and swing the ticket bleed back around into our favour. I can hear a bit of fighting going on to my right, but I make the judgment that it will probably be more beneficial for the team if I cap this point. I think our friendly King Tiger over here was being harassed, so I mark it on the map so he knows just about where it is. Not that I know exactly where it is, because I could just hear its gun firing. I think it was a 90mm by the sounds of it in the recording. So I mark it on the map, and King Tiger begins to engage it shortly. So as I'm capturing the A point, I'm just trying to listen out for anything if it's coming behind me, because I am very wary of tanks which are trying to flank me because their spawn is directly behind me. But fortunately, that doesn't happen, so I was able to cap the point in peace and move on. So I saw the M56 killed our Tiger, so I come around here, catch a glimpse into him, and using this thing's fantastic suspension, I get a shot into his ammo racks, but it hull breaks him, so either or. So as I'm pushing down here, I'm thinking I will go to the bridge connecting the A island to their spawn and see if I can catch anybody out there. And while not much is happening in the background footage, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of the MKPZ M47 and the Leopard 1. So after the war, the Germans were only allowed a very limited army and weren't really into manufacturing their own tanks, so they purchased some M47s and M48s, which were the MKPZ M47 and M48. These were their main battle tanks until the mid-1960s, when the Leopard 1 was introduced. Now, the Leopard 1 was the first, air quotes, MBT of its era. It had mobility and firepower, and because German engineers at the time, and engineers around the world, were sure that the high-explosive anti-tank, or HEAT warheads, were sure to nullify all armour, they gave this thing very light armour so that it could get increased mobility. Just a quick introduction, I saw a tree fall down in their spawn, so I'm going to sit in the river and camp the bridge, because I don't want to spawn push. Spawn kill confirm, all that spawn raping good. Unfortunately, I didn't notice there was a Doom Turtle by the side of the bridge, so that's me being tunnel visioned and not aware of my situation at all. So back to the Leopard 1, it came in many variants. The first one, of course, was the Leopard 1, then you got the Leopard 1, A1, I mean, all the way up to the Leopard A1, A4, which had a 120mm Rheinmetall cannon. Hopefully I didn't butcher the pronunciation of that too much for those German speakers out there. Something you may not know about me, I can speak German adequately, I can get by, but sometimes, because of my accent, I horribly mispronounce some words. Anyway, so about the Leopard, it has a 105mm L7A3 cannon, which in real life wrecked shit. In War Thunder, doesn't really do much. So as I put back to the MKPZ M47, sorry for the blunder there. I put a shot into his engine, but the side skirts of the Doom Turtle completely eat it. And here I managed to get a shot into his driver and cannon breech. So that was a good shot. Here, I don't learn from my mistakes, and I put another shot into what I thought would be his engine, but the side skirts ate it. And he gets tracked. So he can't move at this point, so I put a shot for where I thought the gunner would be, hit his ammo. But of course, in War Thunder, ammunition doesn't like to explode, ever. So I decided to load the APHE and just finish it the good old way. And as soon as the M82 round enters his tank, there's nothing he can do, he dies. So at this point, I saw the other Doom Turtle there and tried to get a shot into his gunner, which I still don't know where it is in the Doom Turtle, so I just take out his driver and orange his breech. In hindsight, I really should have stayed there and just kept on crew sniping and relied on the RNG of the breech not working. But like the absolute tit I am, I push up and ultimately get myself killed. At the time, I thought I was being clever, because I didn't know he could traverse as quick as he could, which is really my mistake. Not sure where that shot went. So I tried to put some MGs down to cover me, considered going around, but then I saw he was facing away from me, so I pushed up over the hill, which was ultimately my demise. Look how quick this bugger snapped around. Even with an orange breech, he still absolutely buggered me. So that sort of annoyed me. And being the non-spiteful, non-revengeful person I am, I come back in my Dornier 217 E2, which is a 4.7 medium bomber. It comes with 4 1,000 kilo bombs, which is fantastic. And you can drop these on 3 separate occasions, which is also really good. So, I've touched on it briefly, but the reason I'm not using my German jets, like the Arados or the Horten, although the Horten is kind of shit right now because they've removed all the HVAP from it, so it's low-key useless. But the reason I'm not using my jets is because I'm trying to save on money, etc., etc., and because I'm trying to buy my way. Well, no, not buy my way. I've researched most of the tanks and planes in the Russian tech tree. I just need to buy them, so I'm just trying to save up enough money so I can purchase them, and hopefully soon you'll have a T-54 video up. Let me know in the comments if you'd like that, because I'm sure I would. I'm very excited to play that out. Also, if you've got any other, if you've got any other feedback which you'd like to leave in the comments, make sure you do, because I will, gosh, swallowed a fly. If you've got any other feedback, let me know in the comments, and I will reply, and I will, of course, change. So here I see the Doom Turtle, drop my bombs, he gets absolutely crapped on. I dropped them a little bit behind him, but because they're 1000s, it doesn't matter. At this point, I get jumped on by an F-84, B-26, so I drop my bomb with the hopes of catching him, but he's pulled off to the side, and I just end up bombing myself. So I can't tell if it was the bomb or my return fire which critted the looks like a Wyvern, which critted the Wyvern, but I should have dropped my other bomb, but me being the tit I am, didn't, so I ended up getting annihilated by these two. So now we're coming to the end of the video. I would just like to say, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, share this video if you liked it that much, Leave any feedback you want in the comments, because I will reply. Okay guys, I apologise for that, my mic cut out. But what I was about to say was, if you've got any requests for any vehicles in the game, make sure you leave them in the comment section, and I will play them out. I'm taking any and all requests as long as I have the vehicle. Okay, peace out. Have a great day.